Yo, welcome back to the Nerds with Glasses podcast, your number one gaming podcast on YouTube, so we say.
Yes.
I'm Knowledge.
I'm Javi. Quick shout out to our sponsor, Control Freaks. 10% off.
Yeah, 10% off. Yeah.
So 10% off with the GOP if you go buy stuff, if you buy stuff.
Yeah, so just use promo code GOP and you'll get 10% off on anything on the website. Wonderful control sticks. We love using the controller cleaner.
The wiper.
Thing.
I don't know what it is, but it's a foam.
It's like it's foam with, and it comes with the little rags, and it works really well.
It works for a lot of things too. I mean,
it can clean many things.
Many of like video, yeah.
So it's a hot summer day here in Los Angeles and in San Fernando Valley.
Not that bad today though,
compared to some of the days, but
yes.
We might be sweating the whole time. Anyways, we have to start off with the phenomenon that is known as Pokemon Go. It's on everybody's phones right now. Everybody's been playing it. Even adults who've never
except for the people in like Singapore and places it's not available yet.
It was in Japan.
Is it really?
Yeah, Japan is still
I
waiting for it. They're mad. They always get everything 6 months before we do. Finally, we got one. But we definitely want to talk about this on just a massive social scale, what it means for gaming, all that type of stuff. And we actually made a commentary when they first announced it. Remember when they did when they first released the trailer, and we guessed that it was gonna be a massive hit. And I remember people.
I don't know. Like there's always when there's something like this, people going both ways.
Yeah,
they're analyzing, but it's like, first of all, it's Pokemon. Like
the name is in everything. Yeah,
it's in Pokemon. It's Nintendo. Granted, Nintendo has been doing the best, but it's still Pokemon and Nintendo. I don't think
it's still Nintendo on a mobile device on mobile.
Yes.
That's it. That's all you need to know right there to know that it was going to be successful. But just the whole format. I can't remember the name of the other game that this company did.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
now.
it's off the top of my head.
We need to make sure because I mean this game is the basis of
what Pokemon Go is. So they already done things like this before. The augmented reality
Nighttech.
Nighttech?
That's the game. That's the company name. The game was Ingress.
Ingress, that's right. So they've done stuff like this before
using the GPS.
Yeah, but Pokemon is a whole different animal. It's a brand name that just transcends transcends gaming because all the movies and the TV shows. Yeah. So it's a thing that you knew was going to be successful, but now I mean you were looking at some stats about just the sales.
Yeah, it already beat out Pokemon Shuffle, which is like one of those matching Pokemon games that they have, and you have in-game transactions.
Yeah.
It's been out for, I don't know exactly how long, but it's been out longer than Pokemon Go.
A lot longer,
yeah. And Pokemon Go has already surpassed the sales.
Within 1 week.
Yes.
1 week.
I think the reports are that it's made 14 million since its release.
And this is a free game. I mean, obviously they get
free to play. Yes.
Yeah, free to play. But I mean, obviously they make their money in other ways. But
microtransactions, and I mean, they don't have advertisement as far as I see.
Yeah.
But I guess I mean, the fact that your place is a gym, it's been bringing a lot of people to different places.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe that's a good point. So maybe businesses can apply to be a gym or something like that.
Maybe I know there's a baseball stadium somewhere that is actually, because I guess they're a hot. I think it's a baseball stadium. They're a hot spot for it, and I was reading that they're giving you $5. Obviously, when they're not having a game or anything, they're giving you $5, or you give them $5 and they'll let you walk around the field for like an hour.
Really?
Yeah, and catch Pokemon.
That's
genius.
That's genius.
I would have charged more. Like,
it's funny
because it's one of those things. It's a baseball. It's a giant baseball stadium. I need a.
But I wonder how it would be if they did it during the game too. Like, would anybody even be watching? I mean, nobody watches baseball games when they're there to begin with.
I like going to the field.
I like going to baseball games, but I think watching the game is like number 6 on my priority list. Okay. It's just fun being there, the atmosphere, buying hot dogs, like hanging out with family and friends. And then, like, every once in a while, you hear the back crack, and you're like, "Oh, look, a home run or something."
Can I catch it? Oh, no, it's okay.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's a social phenomenon, and I think it has legs because of the name. I think it'll be around for a while, but we're also talking about it has some limitations as far as like what we're used to from Pokemon.
Yeah.
So, do you think that the format is gonna change? Do they have to change?
I think they're gonna update it. This is literally they just released it.
Yeah.
They're definitely gonna change stuff.
Yeah, that's true. They have to change stuff as they go.
But
I guess the big question is, are they gonna make it more like the actual games where you can battle other Pokemon?
I think they'll do that. Right now, you don't even battle the Pokemon. It's kind of like going to the Safari Zone. I don't even remember doing that. You wouldn't really fight. You had bait, rocks, and Pokeballs. That was it.
Yeah.
Except this time you only have the Pokeball.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you're going through the Safari Zone because you're not attacking the Pokemon at all to make them weaker, to make them easier to catch.
Yeah.
You're just throwing Pokeballs at them.
And I was saying, I think they did that either one or two reasons. The first one would be logistically it might be an incredible amount of data that would just shatter the entire internet if they try to keep stats on all Pokemon like as they're upgrading battles and like or
because they're definitely not going to do it as intricate as the games have been. I think it was I forgot which generation that introduced like the little like the breeding that you can make the perfect stats for your certain Pokemon. It introduced the natures, which changed the stats. I don't think they're going to be adding anything like that.
Yeah, I doubt it. I mean, I was saying that what they might do is they might do another edition for more hardcore gamers, but even then, I think that would just divide their...
Mm-hmm. They wouldn't want to divide it.
They wouldn't want to divide their user base. I think after maybe like 2 or 3 months, you're going to start hearing... like from the hardcore gamers, you're going to start hearing like, oh, man, they need to add this, and this. I don't know Nintendo to be a company who cares. And
then you got to remember Pokemon Sun and Moon is coming out too. Yeah. There you go. You want to be able to train, like you would. That's the game, or
Now, do you think that they would do some sort of, how they've always done like Pokemon Stadium where you can use your Pokemon from the game? So do you think they would do any kind of compatibility?
Yeah, because they had a while back when it was, I think, Soul Silver and Heart Gold, they had the was it those games? I think it was those. They had the pedometer. And you would walk and you would find Pokemon and you can transfer them to your game. There's a mobile app, or was it a mobile app? I think it might have been for the DS, a game where you catch these 3 legendary Pokemon. You catch more than them, but there was 3 legendary Pokemon you can catch their different forms in.
Yeah.
By playing this game and then transfer them to your game. I can imagine them like having an event where you have to find the certain Pokemon actually out in the wild, and then you can transfer it to your game.
Yeah, I can see that. But you don't see it the other way around where you can use your
right now, no.
Because on top, like it's only the first 151.
Yeah.
So right now, like any new game that comes out is a whole new set of Pokemon. So that's one thing that's already...
so unless they, because I'm sure they're going to be adding more Pokemon.
Yeah, no,
there's no doubt. Yeah, but it's going to probably be down the line.
And this is the ultimate test run, just in general. Like it's genius because, for one, I think aside from the hardcore gamers, the casual people who watch the cartoons, I think the majority of people who watch the cartoons watch the first couple of seasons, or
up into the Orange Island. I think is where a lot of people sure watched.
Yeah, I mean for sure. If you watched it, you watched like season 1 and 2. You watched Squirtle, Charmander, all the OGs. So for those people who picked up Pokemon Go, they're like, oh, they recognize all these Pokemon, So it doesn't matter to have all the Chikorita and
and then
whatever it is now. I don't know because I only played Red and Blue, right? And I watched the cartoon up until Orange Islands.
That's what I'm saying. Most people, I think, almost for sure watched. If you were a fan of Pokemon, watched up until Orange Islands.
Yeah.
Johto maybe is when you stopped, but it was. Johto was still good.
I don't know what it was, but it felt different. I guess we lost a lot of the main characters too. Because we started losing like Misty and Brock.
Lost Misty. I thought Brock was still there for a bit. I don't remember.
I forgot when, but like around that time, I think.
No, because Misty was there for Johto, because that's when she got the Togepi.
Okay, I don't know.
But yeah, whatever.
You know,
something changed.
I think that's where they started.
I think it's more also just you and the people in general were getting older.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I was in 6th grade when Pokemon came out, so I was a kid. I mean,
when did it come out? 96, correct?
Yeah,
I was
like
3.
96, 97. Yeah, I was
5.
We had the Game Boy Colors and we had the connection things at school. Like, you know, I mean, it's one of those things that, man, there's so much nostalgia there. I can see people who are my age playing it. I can see older people playing it just because all the young people are doing it. All the young people are doing it because it's awesome. All the people like in your age range who are maybe like early 20s
who have a smarphone. I mean, granted, even kids younger than me have smarphones now, but it's still kind of a grown up thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, people who are like you who experience a lot more of the Pokemon rage. You know, like I was kind of just there in the beginning, but you were like a kid when it first came out, so you had the whole thing.
Yeah, even though I didn't keep up with the show, I tried watching every single movie that they released.
Really?
Yeah, for a long time.
I think I only watched the first one, and it was 2000 was like the second one.
Yeah,
they're both good.
All of them are good. Like, all the movies are good.
Okay, Junior. Okay.
Well, all the ones I've seen.
All 25 movies were good.
Whatever. I've maybe seen 12 of those.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be important. Like I said, I think it's going to have legs because of just the name. But if it's going to be one of those games that goes on for 5 to 10 years, it's going to have to make changes. It has to become more in depth. It's not like... when thinking of mobile games, like what games have really lived on? Like Angry Birds? Words with Friends, if you want to consider that. Like a lot of the other ones were just kind of like the flavor of the month type.
Yeah,
type
Candy
games.
Crush.
Candy Crush.
I mean, I play some mobile games, but like you said, like they're flavor of the month games. I don't have one that I've kept playing.
Yeah.
Let me just look through my phone real fast.
Yeah, no, there is a bunch of those games that they just come out in
Fruit Ninja. I mean, kind of, you know.
Nah.
Oh, I guess no, that's more of a flavor of the month.
Yeah, that was like a
Card
flavor
Wars.
of the month. Tiny Wings was a kind of a flavor of the month. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch. I think this one will last minimum like 4 to 6 months, just off the craze. Then after that, they're gonna have to start thinking about doing some real updates to make it more in depth, so people keep
events, quests.
Yeah. Now my excitement quest. That'd be. I was saying, how exciting would it be when the first person who like makes a vlog channel, just them, like not only just like around the neighborhood, but they take like a worldwide trip.
Yeah, someone that someone that can actually afford it and does it.
Yeah,
you know, they're just walking and like hiking. Granted, who knows if they even get signal? You know.
Yeah, it's true.
But like
that'd be the worst. Oh, that'd be the worst. Like, oh, Mount Everest. Here's Articuno. Here's Mewtwo.
Yeah,
and then
GPS signal lost.
Yeah, you lost signal. Not like Casey Neistat or saying I can see somebody like that doing it. Well, I don't think he'll play.
He might not do it. Yeah.
He might not do it, but I'm saying.
Yeah, but someone like he's done it. He's done not that, but he's gone around the world.
Yeah. So you can see him doing something like that, and I would be stoked and interested because
stream it.
Dude, you could Periscope, Facebook Live. There's so much things. There's so much potential. Like, people are so crazy about it right now. We're thinking of doing videos about it, but we're like, we don't
walk.
Yeah.
Like,
I have to get up? No, they have to come to me. The other issue I want to talk about was the legendary Pokemon.
Right.
So we kind of disagree on this. I think that they should only have like a set number of legendaries. There should only be like 10,000 Mewtwo's ever.
Right.
And it's gonna make it so much more special.
Yeah.
You don't think that they should do that though? No. How should they handle that?
I mean, they should just make it kind of like very not like just something that can happen. It's something very difficult to do.
Okay, but
anyone can still obtain it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you're like playing fucking, what is it? Oh, Clash of Clans is a game that's lasted a long time. But you know, anyone can get to a certain thing. You can either, but you have to get there.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's spending money, but I'm sure this game wouldn't do that for the legend, or they might do it for the legendaries.
They might. I mean, after a while, you could probably sell. You could probably sell them for hundreds of dollars if people would buy.
But it would be cool, like some kind of quest. I don't know how they would even do it though. You know.
No, that's a good idea though with the quest, because I was just thinking, okay, let's say you want to get a Mewtwo.
Mm-hmm.
So they make it so that you have to get to the top of 10 hills
that they have marked. Hopefully.
That they have marked. So like around,
and then you only get a chance to like then find it. Not it gives it to you, or you find it immediately. But the quest kind of unlocks Mewtwo being able to.
Yeah, see, that would be amazing, and it would also be a time thing. So like, let's say you would have to do it within 2 months. Mm-hmm. So like, you know, like around here where we live, there's a bunch of hiking trails. Mm-hmm. You know, they're here and there. So let's say you have to do these 5 hiking trails, and then like you said, then it unlocks the potential that to get them and shit. But I also think that it'd be nice if they have a function that's more difficult than just kind of throwing the Pokeballs.
Yeah. Right now you're just throwing the Pokeball. You know, but like I wouldn't want them to add like a mini game. Yeah. You know, or like something that isn't throwing the Pokeball. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you know, something like battling or doing something to.
Well, like even with the Pokeballs, I think that they could do swipe mechanics to make it fun. So, for example, like let's say they can make Mewtwo like move really fast back. Maybe you have to swipe really fast forward. Okay. Maybe if he moves to the right, maybe you have to do like a circular. So it can just be a simple like 3 swipe motions. Okay. But it's up to you to.
Well, because you know, because right now it is kind of. I mean, the Pokemon, it'll dodge your Pokeball. It's not like, and you actually have to kind of like throw at the right distance. You know?
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, because it can say like good throw or whatever. Yeah, it says nice throw, but. I don't. It doesn't seem like it's not structured. Okay. It's just not structured to me. Like it just, if they had like a little mini game like that where it's not like, you know, here's a solar beam, you know, like okay, obviously you can't do that, fine. Yeah. But just something like give me simple like swipe mechanics.
Like what is it, like that Harry Potter game where to do the spell you have to like trace out the symbol, something like that.
I don't remember that, to be honest.
But what about something like that?
Yeah, that'd be nice. Something that reminds me of like Okami. I don't know if you ever played that. Yeah. On PS2, where if you do a certain symbol, it does something. So, I mean, of course, that's far ahead in the future. That doesn't matter now. The point is, right now, it's amazing. It's a social phenomenon. Kids are getting out and doing stuff. Adults are getting out and doing stuff.
Like. My age people are doing.
I think everybody's just out and doing stuff, and it's an exciting time. But that leads me into Nintendo in general, and why I think, and you think, I think as well, Nintendo will never die, and the reason it won't die is because games like Pokemon Go.
Just the fact that it owns Zelda, it owns all these, it's theirs. Nothing else can use that name.
Yeah, that will always be their biggest asset, is their main brands and titles, obviously for any company. But the point with them is that they go back the farthest, more than Master Chief, more than Lara Croft, you know, like more than any other video game character you can think of. There's a sort of Uber-ness to them. It's like universal, where everybody knows Mario. I remember they did a survey back in like '89 talking about Mario at that point was more recognizable than Mickey Mouse to children, which was a big thing. Even now, it might not seem as big because Mickey Mouse has kind of faded into the ether. But even now, I mean, people know who Mickey Mouse is.
I mean, they might not. Yeah, exactly. They maybe never seen any cartoon with him or anything. Yeah. But because he's the mascot of the big thing that is Disney.
Yeah, I mean, like people know Mickey Mouse, but even back then, they were still actively like you were still seeing cartoons, Mickey Mouse and all, and that like. It was a big deal for Mario, and Mario is the most like universal video game character there is. Period. I can't think of any. Mario is video games in many ways, and that's why Nintendo will never die, even though it releases shit consoles like the Wii U every now and again.
Maybe the NX.
Maybe the NX will be a shit console, but these brand names, they know how to use them.
And now that they're moving a lot more into the mobile, the fact that this game did so well, they might not release the NX anymore. Just like
we don't need it. Like 14 million in 1 week.
We spent $5 making this app.
It was like you were telling me. It's like when they approached the developers. They were like, "Oh no, yeah, we'll do it for free." That's oh no, you're gonna pay us money to develop it. Like, we don't need money. Like, we'll do this.
Do you know this is Pokemon?
Like, yeah, like I'll do this on my spare time for fun. Yeah, man, it will never die, and only Nintendo has done stuff like this. Like the Wii was another example where it became this. It surpassed gaming. You know, it went beyond gaming, where it became a phenomenon.
Yeah, like the Kinect and the PlayStation Move try to reciprocate.
Yeah, try to replicate.
Replicate. Thank you.
Yeah, they try to replicate it, and they couldn't. They couldn't because they don't have what Nintendo has.
Also, people just got tired. Like, I mean, granted, people still love the Wii, but just got like, okay.
Well,
the novelty of it kind of like faded away.
There you go, and that's exact thing can happen to Pokemon Go. It might just be a flavor of the month. That might happen. I mean, I don't think it will, but it might. But
once they release the next gen, like because people are gonna catch all these Pokemon by tomorrow.
Yeah, they already got all 151.
Well, I think 146. I don't think there's any legendaries yet, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I could be wrong. Like, who knows? Because I know the higher your level you are, the more.
Who are the 5 legendaries? Is it
Mewtwo?
Articuno,
Mew, and the 3 birds.
And the 3 birds? Okay.
I believe so. There's no...
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking, man, I would love for them to put them on mountains. I swear, dude, like, if they do that...
In the volcano, for me. You have to go to Hawaii and in the volcano.
It would be amazing, but... Deaths will occur.
I'm sure deaths already are on the way.
Yeah.
You know... There's no one. I mean, granted, it's great and everything, but at the same time, there's already bad stuff.
Yeah, well, we've heard reports like that where it's like so and so witnessed a murder,
or someone's been robbing people.
Yeah.
Using the app, but I mean,
but
that's
just quickly about that. In my opinion, that's what happens in the real world. If you go outside and do stuff, I mean, not that you get robbed every day, but like there was what was the story exactly about the people who are robbing?
I guess because you could put lures and people gather to where the lures are and they were targeting those areas. Yeah,
so you don't know if they put the lure down themselves or it was just there, but people were coming.
They were using the app, or they saw that I mean, I'm sure they saw that there was a lure there and like, okay, let me go there.
Yeah, and then they robbed people who were coming, but those people were gonna rob people regardless. They were just looking for a different.
They found,
You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where I can understand why people get upset by that. I mean, we've already seen reports like that where people are like, "Oh, it's dangerous for kids, this and that."
And it is, but it's. I mean, it's one of those things like. I mean, if someone gets in a car accident or something because of Pokemon Go, it's not because of Pokemon Go. It's because you're not paying attention.
It's because that person's dumb, and if that person wasn't doing it with Pokemon Go, they'd probably be texting while driving. They'd probably be
I mean, and even if not, it's not. I mean, it's not the game's responsibility to tell you when to not play.
Yeah, that's true.
It does tell you to be careful of your surroundings.
Yeah,
and they probably should put please do not use while driving because I don't think they have that. Granted, it should be fucking common sense.
Yes, like it can be dangerous if. If you use it the wrong way, I guess, but
I mean, people have died playing video games because they spend
80 hours in a row, you know, and you're gonna tell StarCraft, you're gonna tell Activision to stop putting out StarCraft games because they were playing StarCraft for 90 hours in a row. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. But Nintendo will never die. I love when things like this happen because it's one of those.
Bought stock.
We should have bought stock for sure. You know, I remember wanting to buy stock before the Wii came out because I predicted that the Wii was gonna be a massive hit back in like 2005, the Nintendo Revolution, and I regret it every day because they jumped up huge because
30 some points I think the last time I saw it, or 20.
Because they were recently.
Yeah.
Oh wow, and they're probably already. Well, I guess it probably did drop from the Wii U. Mm-hmm. debacle, but they were at their lowest, I think, right after the GameCube era, because they had been going down. They had been on a steady decline since the Nintendo. Every console after the Nintendo sold less and less and less.
64?
After the original
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
The original.
Yeah, the Super Nintendo sold less than the Nintendo. The 64 sold less than the Super, and so on. GameCube, and then the Wii. The Wii was just, I guess, kind of like a blip in the system.
Outlier.
It was an outlier for sure, but I mean, what if you think about their mobile stuff? It's always been high, so that holds their business together. But yeah, I love when things like this happen because it just gives this great sense of community. And as a gamer, it feels good that a game does that. You know, that a game brings people together like that across all ages, races, sex, and everything. Like it can bring people together.
Yeah, I still haven't encountered it where I see like 20 people walking, but I've seen videos of like 30, 40 people all walking with their phone, like,
yeah,
Pokemon Go, gotta catch them all, you know, like.
And granted too, it's not like when I seen videos, it's at like Central Park or something.
Yeah,
it's not like we don't have any. I haven't gone to like downtown LA where there's a gym or something, and maybe there you'll see 20, 30, 40 people. So Nintendo, we love you. Hopefully the NX is good, but please, you will never die because you always pull shit like this off. Okay, Red Dead Redemption, one of the best games of the past generation.
Yes,
almost
100%.
Universally praised.
Number 2 or number 1 for being backwards compatible.
Number one.
It was okay. I wasn't sure. Okay.
It was voted on. So Microsoft, when the Xbox One got backwards compatibility, they put out like a vote so people can vote on which games they would want to see.
Yeah, not which games they're gonna put out. Just they wanted to see what people thought.
Yeah, they just wanted to get fan demand. If I'm not mistaken, Red Dead Redemption had 141,000 votes.
Next was Black Ops 2.
Yeah, Black Ops 2 I think was number 1 for a while, but they kept going. I think once like Black Ops Part 1 got it, I think people just started voting more for.
Because they're like, oh, it's coming.
Yeah, we know it's coming. It's coming. It's not though. Like,
it's but so finally we get our wish. Red Dead Redemption is backwards compatible on Xbox One, and they're really using. I mean, it's a good sign that the number 1 game is. They've been selling games again.
Yeah. So
granted, not new ones. I'm assuming.
I'm guessing they still have some new ones.
Okay.
Or maybe digital.
Yeah,
maybe. But so there was a big report out about that sales jumped up 6,000%. Although that report
jumped up on this list.
Yeah, so that was inaccurate. So people thought that meant like 6,000% more units were sold, but it was kind of a miss. They worded it in a way that was confusing.
Yeah.
Really, what it was is that on Amazon's list, it jumped up 6,000% in ranking. So that doesn't mean it sold 6,000% more.
But it did sell a significant.
Yeah, it sold more. And the point is, I mean, the reason I like this is because it shows that backwards compatibility is important to a good number of people. Red Dead Redemption has been a hot topic the last week. I mean, I've seen like IGN put up their review again because there's interest in it. People want to play it again.
I mean, and now that it's out, they've been putting out all their guides and all that again.
Yeah, and I've seen channels like I saw a GTA series channel that they do all the Rockstar stuff. They did a new walkthrough of it, and it's getting a lot of views. Like, people care about it.
Well, and it's one of those things. Sometimes, I mean, you can kind of argue it's Red Dead, not necessarily backwards. But once we see more games coming out, I mean,
well, yeah, I mean, it's Red Dead, but the point is, it could be any other popular game, and it will generate interest. And I think that proves, like, definitively to me that, I mean, not that it shouldn't even be a question. People have always cared about backwards compatibility, especially when a system first comes out. Now it's kind of like, it's been a couple of years, but
I think especially this generation, because the games are so, I don't know what the word is, but
similar.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like it's the same. The games, I mean, they're changing a lot, but like it was you didn't mind playing on your old Nintendo or your, you know.
Yeah.
But it's one of these things where these games feel like they're in the same generation, even though they're not.
Yeah, they just feel like graphical upgrades now.
Yeah.
They, you know, it's not the same jump that you got from
like a 2D platformer
to Mario 64
or Tetris. Yeah, to Mario 64.
Yeah, or the same jump you got from the PlayStation 2 and Xbox era to like the 360 and PS3 where online became even though those other two had online.
So that's what I mean exactly because so it just feels like they're closer together and you feel more. I guess it's one of those things like you feel like why can't I just play it still?
Yeah, it's just a convenience thing, and I see a lot of people argue like, well, if you wanted to play it, why don't you just reconnect to your Xbox 360 because of the inconvenience for one.
And some people sold it.
And some people sold it to get the new one, you know.
Even though they probably got no money for it. But
yeah, but it was just one of those things. Well, at the time, maybe you got $50-$60. That's $60 towards my new Xbox One or PS4 or whatnot. So it does matter. Red Dead, I think, shows that, and I think if they did that for a lot of games, it would matter to people. Mm-hmm. And Red Dead in general is very good because they improved it a little bit, so it actually runs at better frames.
Okay.
And especially in cutscenes, and it looks smoother. So that's good. That like you actually feel kind of like you're playing a slightly newer game,
a remaster.
Yeah, like a remaster, because most of the remasters now
are just backwards compatible.
Yeah, they're pretty much like they up the texture or whatever. So it's one of those. Why not? I mean, why not? I was happy when they put Reach on the one, even though it fucking sucks. Like they didn't optimize it.
Yeah.
So that's how you don't do it, Microsoft.
But still,
they're one of their flagship games. That's shameful. It's shameful. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption is backwards compatible. If you haven't played it yet, we highly recommend it. It's the only Rockstar game I think that you like.
Yes.
Because you're not a big GTA guy.
No, not. And I mean, I don't know what other game. They had LA Noire, which was okay.
Yeah, I never played it, but GTA 5 is great. Mm-hmm. GTA 4 is one of the most overrated games of all time. Not that it's bad,
but it's just over. Yeah, it's just over.
Yeah, it's not a perfect 10. I'm sorry, it's not a perfect 10. But yeah, Red Dead, check it out if you haven't played it before. We highly recommend it.
And hopefully Undead Nightmare is also backwards compatible, right?
The what?
Undead Nightmare.
I'm not sure.
Okay, because that might not. I mean, it's kind of separate, so that would kind of make sense.
That'd be awesome. I know that.
I never finished that. The Undead Nightmare. I've always wanted to finish it, but I mean, I could just go back.
That's a great expansion, by the way. That's how you do expansions. I mean, or I guess like it's a whole separate game.
Yeah.
Okay, last story of the week, and everybody's been talking about this. We weren't sure
if you're on YouTube.
if you're on YouTube, you've heard about this. We weren't sure if we wanted to do it because what else can you add? But there is some stuff I wanted to talk about it more from the YouTube perspective as opposed to just like business perspective. So Team Arden and Pro Syndicate, big Call of Duty YouTubers and CSGO.
And a lot of
other stuff. I mean, but they got started in Call of Duty,
right.
So I always consider them Call of Duty guys. Like I've known about both of them for a long time.
Right.
So they're just to summarize the scandal. They were making videos about this website called CSGOLotto.com where you can bet your skins. It's a popular thing. People bet their skins all the time. It's like a roulette
kind of thing.
Yeah, and so you bet your skins against somebody else, and if you win, you can win, and then you can sell your skins for real money. Yeah. So it's worth real money.
You know, $13,000. You know, like huge amounts of money.
Like a ridiculous amount of money. Yeah, and they were making videos promoting it, which is fine in itself. But the problem is that they own the site, and although T. Martin says that it was public knowledge, if you watch the videos, now I seen this on I saw that on H3. I don't know where you saw the story.
I saw it from Philip DeFranco.
Philip DeFranco. Okay, so obviously we're crediting them for the story. We're just regurgitating it right now. And Honor the Call was the original channel who found it. It was a small channel. But yeah, T. Martin was the original person. He found the documents where like he was the original founder of the company, and the vice president is Pro Syndicate. So he was saying in the video, he's saying like, oh, I just found this website, and Like, it's a great gambling website. You guys should check it out. He was making it seem like they contacted him or he just found it, not that he owned it.
Right.
And universally, at least in the United States, if you own like a gambling website, or if you're like the owner of a pro team or something, or you play on the team, like you can't gamble on your own website, or you can't gamble on your own team, that type of thing, because it's illegal.
I'm not sure about gambling, so okay, I'll take.
Yeah, no, like it's one of those things. Like Kobe Bryant can't put a bet down on himself and say the Lakers
and
are
then
gonna
make 81 points.
Yeah, you know, because it's a
big
big no in the pro sports world, and it makes sense because it's the same thing here. But you think about it, like Kobe can say he's gonna bet money that they're gonna lose tonight, so he can play terrible, so they lose.
And it's one of those things. It's not necessarily that he will play badly. You know, but it's the fact that he can, and that's what that's what a lot of people are mad about them.
Yeah, and so
one, they're getting money from like they're getting like 8% or whatever it is.
Yeah,
and then they play it, and people are like, "Dude, what if they rigged? Like, what if I got rigged? You know, we don't know."
Yeah. So that's so that's my exact point with the whole Kobe analogy is the fact that he can control the outcome because he can force himself to lose.
Right.
So it's the same thing with T Martin and Pro Syndicate. Yeah. They can potentially control the outcome. They show all these people that they're winning because they can control the back end. Now nobody's proven that they did that,
and maybe they didn't.
And honestly, I don't even think they did. No, to be honest, I don't even think they did that. But the point is, they can
have the power.
Yeah, they can, and so they could potentially, and that's why it's illegal, and that's why you can't do it. So yeah, all that aside, people have been talking about that, and there's been a giant witch hunt for T Martin in particular.
Yeah, Syndicate seems to be like he's smart, I guess.
Yeah, he's smart because he shut the fuck up. That's like, number one. You shut when things like this happen. You pretend like it never happened. That's it. That's how you do damage control. You don't say anything, and eventually it'll go away.
But granted, his legal team have to handle it because this is something.
Well, now they did because I think T Martin didn't even realize how illegal it was because he kept saying like, just to be clear, we haven't done anything illegal. I was like, yeah, bro, like you kind of like not only that, like within 6 months you're gonna be being raped in jail. Like, what are you talking? This is highly illegal, dude. What are you talking about? And he started talking a lot. He released a couple of videos saying
he's taking them. At least one of them down.
I think he took both of them down because his lawyers probably told him take everything down.
Good luck.
Yeah,
it's back up 50 times already.
Yeah, man, and for one, the first video he did was kind of saying, it's always been public knowledge that I own the website.
Trying to like shift blame.
Yeah, and then the same people who released the videos who kind of exposed it were like, well, here's videos of you pretending to just discover it. So obviously it wasn't public knowledge. I guess if somebody
he was deceiving still. Even if it's public knowledge, he was still deceiving the people that were watching.
Yeah, because technically he's not wrong. Is it public knowledge? Can you look it up in public records? Yes, if you did that, you would find it just like the guy did. Mm-hmm. But you're deceiving people. You're controlling you're controlling the perception of it. And so, yes, you're deceiving people. It's in that sense, it's not public knowledge because you changed the public knowledge of what people thought it was. So it's a big lie. So he took that video down because people exposed him for that. And then he did an apology video, which was honestly, I'm a grown ass man. I can tell when somebody's being insincere. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, he was being insincere as shit, you know, and he was just basically blaming you, the viewer, saying like, I'm sorry, you didn't realize it was.
Yeah, there's so many parodies made of it.
Yeah, like
I'm sorry you walked into the street like, you did this. Yeah,
I saw, it was funny. I was watching White Boy 7th Street's parody, and like he was like pretending to cry, so he splashed water in his face every couple of seconds, and then he would wipe the tears off with dollar bills. Yeah. He's like, I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm one of those people, like, I don't wish bad on anybody, and I don't wish bad on these two guys. Like, I don't know if they should go to jail, but at the same time, it does piss me off when things like this where you know a black or Latino kid gets arrested for marijuana and goes to jail for something like that, whereas like white collar crime is doesn't they those people never suffer, and those people really stole money from people. The same thing with like all these bank bailouts, you know, those big company bailouts where these people stole millions of dollars from the American public, and they don't face charges for their crimes. And this is the same idea. Like, I don't know how much money they made off of this. They might have not made much. They were just starting off. It seems to me like they made a good amount of money though, because their followers, they had some really hardcore followers. And the thing is, this is gambling. And on this website, you don't have to be 13, I think, to gamble. Like, 13 or above.
Okay.
So I might be wrong about that. I think T. Martin actually corrected that, but everybody was saying 13. I think it was actually 18.
I think I remember hearing something was edited later.
Okay, so
I don't know.
But the point is, people look. I gamble. Like I try not to, but I made the mistake of gambling when I was like 16, like playing dice, and it's one of the most addicting fucking things. It's so addicting that I think is more addicting than alcohol and like drugs.
Yeah, no, I mean, I luckily I don't gamble, but I mean, like stuff like that is like stuff like loot things. I mean, that's like a
form of gambling, like RNG.
It's just like
and that's how they get people with these games. Something like Destiny, where it's the chance of winning, and it's such a rush when you get it. And when you don't get
the chance of finding a certain Pokemon. Granted, you're not really using your money for the most, in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as bad. I think Destiny, or any game like with loot like that, they tap into that base desire, that base instinct to gamble, because it does feel good when you win something, you know.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think, you know, people say like, well, whatever, if they're 21 or they can gamble, I don't care. To me, it's like, honestly, I would hope that the kids never gamble, you know. And if you do gamble until you're older, because that way it's easier to let it go.
No, it's not. It is not. But one of the things I mentioned to you was, this is not necessarily the same thing, but it's a character, right? YouTube, these people are, you know, a lot of the people are characters. There was that whole thing with Gawker, with who was it, Hulk Hogan, you know, who, you know, was being charged. I don't know why he was being charged. It was like a video of him saying stuff, which is I don't know. But anyways, he was in the video, and like during the thing, I remember him saying something like, "No, that's Hulk Hogan. I'm Terry." Like, I'm Terry. I didn't say those things.
Yeah.
It's that whole thing with like Keemstar at the same time, you know, right now. He's like, I didn't say those things. I was playing this part, you know.
Yeah.
And then also, I mean, T. Martin could probably use that kind of defense in his case.
Yeah.
You know, where, you know, I'm T. Martin online, I'm whatever his real name is. You know,
Trevor Martin.
Whatever, yeah. You know, but you know, I'm just saying like stuff like that. Like,
I mean, you could argue that.
No, and I'm not arguing it. I'm just saying that that's something that, you know, is very possible that they're gonna do.
Yeah, but at the same time, either way, they still own the website, and that's what it comes down to. At least with those other examples.
Yeah.
They were saying stuff, but they weren't. They weren't like physically trying to take your. You know, they weren't trying to take your money, and T. Martin especially, like, he's screwed, dude.
Yeah,
like,
I would like to see people bring up Syndicate's video, because maybe he didn't implicate that he found it, but he also didn't implicate that he owns it. He just kind of like, it's like, oh, this website, that's it, you know.
Yeah, I think he's probably safer, because from the videos I've seen, he hasn't made it seem like, oh, and plus he's not the owner. He's the vice president. He's not the owner necessarily, so he might not be liable in any of that. Like, he can probably just make up lies. But either way, like, I think...
Yeah, but someone, like, I'm not sure maybe there's already up there, but some kind of compilation of all this to see what they've been saying and what they've been, like, doing, just to see, because...
I mean, if anything, they were smart and took all that down that was related to...
I'm sure they missed some.
yeah, there's a lot of videos to look through. But just looking at the YouTube side, I think my final point about this is... YouTubers like will do anything for money because humans will do anything for money. Not all humans,
right? And not all YouTubers.
Not all YouTubers, exactly. But I think this is like the final nail in the coffin for me, where it should show people that this is a business. And the great draw of YouTube, especially about personalities, is that they're just one of you, that they're just that they're regular people. And I think part of that is true, and part of it is no, they're not. They're business conglomerates, you know, like
they're characters. They're this, they're that.
Yeah, yeah, and that's people always argue about the government, for example, about like, you know, fuck the government and that like they're evil corporations and stuff like this. And they say it in a way whereas like as if these corporations and the government isn't made up by real people, because at the end of the day they're just real people. And the reason what happens is that absolute power corrupts. Absolutely, power and money corrupts, you know, and it's up to us to keep them in check if they become that. And that's what these YouTube channels are, is that they're big evil corporations. If you look at it that way, I mean, they're making a lot of money. Not as much money as Coke, you know, but like they're making a lot. They're making a lot more money than we are, you know,
or just a common.
Just a common viewer. Like they're definitely making money. I mean, I would guess that T. Martin, through all his businesses and channels, made a couple million at least a couple million.
And he started when he was a kid.
Yeah, he started when he was like 16 doing Call of Duty videos.
Same with Syndicate.
Yeah. So, my point is, at the end of the day, T. Martin is just a regular person who put himself in this situation and became successful. But as soon as he became successful, he became something different. He became a corporation, let's say. And I don't think you guys can't, not you guys, but us, everybody, we can't lose sight of that. We can't forget. We can't just trust them on their word just because they were once this. Now they became part of the system, you know? And I think that's a final nail in the coffin, because this is going to be a big deal. They're going to go to court over this. I mean, Valve is going to court over this. They got sued. Valve got sued for the whole system. And then after this whole T. Martin and Syndicate thing broke out, the people who were suing Valve threw T. Martin and Syndicate in the lawsuit. So, like, they're going to go to court, and you might see T. Martin go to jail, to be honest. I don't know. It might not be for that long, because at the end of the day, it's just a white-collar crime. And for some reason in this country and all around the world, white-collar crime is not seen as bad as I guess, what's the other kind of type of crime called? Like, you know, physical crime or whatever.
Well,
like,
that's true, but, like, I guess...
But at the end of the day, to me, it's like, it's just as bad. But either way, T. Martin might be going to jail. Mm-hmm. Especially because he's here in the United States. Syndicate is in the UK, so they follow a different set of rules to begin with. You know,
I'm very curious if like this is like gonna be, are people just selling skins now, trying to get rid of them? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I forgot who said it, but somebody was like, "Dude, sell all your skins," because like
because some people have like hundreds of thousands of dollars in skin or some shit.
Yeah, you know? Yeah, that's all. That's paper. That's all digital money. Like, you need to make it paper money as soon as possible, because it's gonna crash soon. Because Valve is gonna have to make changes. Period. And no matter, even if they keep it alive, they're gonna have to make changes after, because it's gonna be a big ass
deal.
So
many. How many CSGO like betting websites are there?
Yeah, I mean,
skin specifically.
Dude, it's an empire. They're making boatloads of cash off of it. I mean, CSGO is probably the most popular game in the world, other than Pokemon Go. Like, but I mean, it's up there.
I mean, people haven't found a way to make. Oh, actually, people have been finding ways to make money off of it, anyways. But
dude, I'm telling you, if you caught a Mewtwo, you could sell your phone, then your account the next day.
Yeah, just the Gmail.
Yeah,
or the Pokemon trainer or whatever.
Yeah, you could sell that shit the next day for thousands of dollars on eBay. I guarantee you can. I guarantee it. So that's it, man. The final nail in the coffin, and I hope it's a lesson to us all that even for us, like, I mean, we're kind of mid-level YouTubers. You know, we have a lot of subscribers. Like, if I were you, I wouldn't trust us when we say, like, "Oh, we found this website." Like, I'm always upfront, and hopefully I always stay that way. So if I have a sponsor, I'll just say, this is our sponsor. I'm not just going to say, like, dude, I just found Control Freaks. You guys should check them out. I'll be like, you know what? We're sponsored by Control Freaks. Go check them out. So you're the whole point of that is you're supposed to know when you're sponsored, when somebody's sponsored. Right. Because
and do with that what you will. Like
like now you know that they pay me or that I get money if you.
It would have been so simple for them to.
That was the best point, dude. Say
yeah. There would have been. I mean, I think they would have made more money telling people about their own site.
Yeah, dude.
Like imagine T Martin and Syndicate making a video together. Like we have this site now. You know, CSGOLotto, and then that. I mean. Granted, I mean they wouldn't ever be able to gamble like you said, but they wouldn't have had to worry about this mess. But granted, this is foresight, not
this is hindsight. Hindsight is 2020.
Yeah.
It's easy to look back and say that.
But in my head, I think like the two of them being as big as they are together, be like, we own this site. You know, they could vouch for their site. You know, and I'm sure. I mean, like I said, like the fact that they're own it and play it is what makes it really sketchy to people.
Yeah.
But if they would have just said, we own this site, come on down and check it out, bet your skins, and I mean, that would be it. That'd be the end of it.
That was the best point you made because I was like, dude, I completely agree with you. I didn't think of that, but when you said that, it makes sense. I think so the same too. I think that if they would have said it, they would have made double the money because they have so many fans who just follow anything they do that they would have gone on the site anyway. You know what I mean? And if it was a good site, it would have spread like wildfire. Yes. And it wasn't only them two. They had another guy, Josh OG, who I don't personally know, but apparently he's a big deal in Twitch. Like I think he has like 1 million followers or something on Twitch. Okay. So it's one of those things where, yeah, man, if you would have just disclosed it from the get-go, you probably would have done way better, Like,
I think I like with Philip DeFranco that he made up a website where he's like he in the video he's telling people like, come to this website and give me money. Like he was just straight up, and he actually has the website up for donation kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's like, just give me money. Like you will not get anything. Just come to this website and send me your money.
Yeah. I think honesty always wins out like that for some reason.
I'm sure he made some. I mean, he got some money out of that too.
Yeah. It reminds me of that reminds me of Total Biscuit. Total Biscuit is a YouTuber. He does like PC reviews, and they have a podcast, and they're I believe they're sponsored by Squarespace. So sometimes they do Squarespace ads, but they do like super over the top cheesy ones where they're just fucking around, but they do it in such a direct way where you enjoy it instead of them trying to be like like, oh yeah, I started using Squarespace. It's pretty cool. They make like these super cheesy over the top, like Squarespace is the most amazing
like
thing.
Game Grumps, I don't know if you ever seen that.
Like that, exactly.
Their Crunchyroll and all that.
They do it exactly like that, and that works, dude. It works because the honesty of it. You're just like, oh well, they're doing something sponsored. You understand,
and it's just one of those things. Once you get into that, like not being honest, you tumble down the hill.
Yeah, dude. I think T Martin's YouTube career is over.
But
I personally
I don't watch him, so I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I don't know how hardcore his fans are.
I think that he's been on the teeter for a long time because he's like 3 Call of Duty channels that survive. Him, Drifter, and Ali. That's it. I can't think of anybody else big who survived from that era.
Okay.
And like they're the dudes who give you the new Call of Duty news, and they all do the same thing. You know what I mean? Like if you don't get it from him, you can just get it from Ali. Mm-hmm. Drifter does it a little different because he's more technical. He kind of does like he'll look at the actual stats and he'll do
but they each have their own personality.
Yeah, and so I think T Martin honestly, T Martin is one of those dudes where I never saw him really do anything different. He was just copy from other people. But I think what stood out with him was his persona, which is the kind of like dude, like kind of like he's from Florida, but he has that kind of California vibe.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where because he started when he was
he's
like
very enthusiastic.
Yeah, and he's like, hey,
I guess Ali is somewhat similar too, but they're different. They're a different kind of enthusiastic.
Yeah, but I think for an American kid, aside from, let's say you don't love his personality, you're kind of just a fan of him because he was a 15-year-old. and he became big, like you're a fan of the story.
Mm-hmm.
You're a fan of his ascendance to make so much money. So like a lot of times that's why you're a fan, because you want that for yourself. So maybe you're a 15-year-old, you're like, oh man, like you're a fan because of that, not so much because of the personality. I think Ali is better personally. Drifter's 100 times better. Like he really gives you good information. T Martin, I mean, I'm not hating on them. I just think that I respect him because he hustled. Like he hustled everybody. You know, he out hustled all other YouTube Call of Duty dudes. And he's one of the only 3 that survived that whole era.
Big, yeah.
So I mean, there's definitely, I think he was a smart businessman, but I think this is
a dumb
business move. Yeah, because he definitely he was in the forefront of getting like Astro sponsorship, Scuff sponsorship. You know, he was premium machinima director. Like he did a bunch of stuff before anybody else did, and I think in life he'll probably be okay because I think he's made a lot of business investments, but I don't see his YouTube career surviving this. To be honest, I don't see it surviving this. Like,
we'll have to see.
Yeah, I think Syndicate will survive 100%.
Yeah, he has YouTube, he has Twitch.
Yeah, and he just has the attitude where it's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. You know,
send me to jail. Do it.
Yeah. I don't think he cares. Like he's just like whatever. Because he's done this a couple of times.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, like he got in trouble with the FTC over the Xbox when the Xbox One first came out. Apparently, Machinima paid him through Microsoft to review the Xbox, but it had to be a positive review, and he didn't disclose that or something like that. And
it's probably like, fuck it, I didn't, I forgot to.
Yeah, and after the fact, he was like, whatever, like, I got my money, like, I got my 10 grand, like, you know, like, he doesn't care. So, it's one of those, like, if you have that type of personality, you can almost survive any controversy. I don't know if you ever seen, like, Charles Barkley, basketball player.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, well, he's an analyst, and, like, he says some of the most, like, incendiary stuff, but because he's Charles Barkley, everybody's like, yeah, it's just Charles. Like, you know.
That's what he does.
Yeah, like, he just says stuff like that. It's fine. It's fine. But, yeah, I think T. Martin seems like it really affects him, and because he made those videos, you know.
And I'm sure it does affect him more, like you said. I didn't realize that that he's basically just the fact, like he owns it by himself pretty much. And
no, I don't know that. I mean, it does, like, it says that Syndicate is the vice president,
right.
But that could mean like of operations. It doesn't necessarily mean that he owns it, but the founder is Trevor Martin, T. Martin. Right. So there you go.
I just hope there's no throwing under the bus for anyone there.
Oh no, dude. If they go to court, like, you'll see Syndicate just blame everything on T. Martin. Like, he held a gun to my head and he told me I had to do it. No, you're gonna see that. But yeah, guys, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
I said it right? It's a very interesting story. We never get in. We never talk on this channel about like drama or anything. We just talk about news mostly. When we do podcasts. Yeah. I mean, yeah, every now and again.
This is kind of news.
Yeah, but I think there's
more drama.
Yeah, I think this transcended drama because there's a lot of real legal consequences.
Yeah, it's not
here.
Just like.
Yeah, it's not just like
Twitter shit. You know?
Yeah, it's not just like, oh, he said this and she said that or whatever. No, it's actual, like, there's repercussions here, and it's just an interesting time with YouTube because this is what usually happens when like new businesses pop up. It's the Wild West at first, and then you're gonna start seeing a lot of regulations come down, and you've seen a lot of regulations come down already with copyrights. And like you see it kind of shape itself, and I think this is one of the final frontiers as far as business for YouTube of how it's gonna shape itself. Because as far as like brand deals and promotions, it's been the Wild West, and it's gonna start not being the wild. They're gonna start kind of putting the law down, you know.
Yeah, I remember reading that like Warner Brothers for Shadow Mordor pay people to do positive reviews and stuff. So.
Let me just comment on that real quick. That's the other part is like that's why you never know with these the YouTube news channels or anything, because that started circulating around. We got Shadow of Mordor from Warner Brothers through machinima, which is the exact thing that people were saying.
Right.
You know, because nobody got review copies. No one. Not IGN, not GameSpot. But machinima, because they're owned by Warner Brothers, or they're not owned by it, but Warner Brothers invested $30 million into machinima. And actually, machinima is our network, so machinima is actually at the Warner Brothers lot. Their office is on the Warner Brothers lot, so they're very closely connected. Right. Okay, so they started circulating this thing where they paid people to give positive reviews. I don't know if that's true. We got an early copy of Shadow of Mordor, and our thing didn't say that. It just said
it was probably for the bigger people.
It might be. It would have been just for the big YouTubers, but I know for a fact ours didn't say like it has to be positive. It said the standard.
And did we do a review for that?
No, I mean the thing is they call it review copies, but it's like Let's Play or Game Movie copies. Like they just give those copies out.
Right. Yeah, no, I was just curious because I mean sometimes they've asked us to do reviews.
Yeah.
In the past.
Yeah. There have been sometimes where you're right. They tell us specifically you have to do a review if you want to get the copies. Like okay, so we've done a couple of them. I did like Destiny. I forgot what other game. Oh, Dying Light. I did a review. I think we call this series like Should You Buy? And then, so I mean, yeah, with that particular game, at least in mine, and I could disclose this because it wasn't a non-disclosure agreement. There's certain ones that are non-disclosure. This was just like a standard like, there's your game. You're not bound to say, you know, like your own opinions reflect your opinions type thing. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe some people did get that, but to me, I remember being like,
"Where's my money now?"
I was like, "Wait a minute!" Like, I don't remember them saying that, but you know, it's one of those things where Keemstar said it, and then everybody says it. You know, so it just starts. It becomes this thing. So. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things. I don't know. And the same thing with Team Martin and Syndicate. Like, with the Syndicate, for example, they were given that example that he had done this before with this other game called Dead Realm, that he owned part of the game, but he didn't disclose it to people. And that one person said that, and then all of them started saying it. And then later on, somebody else was like, no, that's not true, actually. Here's a video of him saying that he owns it. So then it was like, okay, but nobody probably saw that video. It's already fact.
Yeah.
So
it's already on the internet.
It's already on the internet, so it already happened. But yeah, very interesting stuff, guys. Let us know what you guys think about the whole situation. Will T. Martin go to jail? Will Syndicate go to jail? How are their YouTube careers gonna go on? And how many changes are we gonna see in YouTube?
The regulations.
Yeah, regulations. But yeah, guys, thanks for joining us on this week's podcast. We will be back sometime in the future. And I gotta say, next week we've been kind of inconsistent, but we just go when the news comes. I guess it's dead season right now, to be honest. We don't just want to make a podcast just cause, and then have like 3 topics that we
and that don't know what to say about it.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.